Our journey begins in the 1970s when video games first started captivating audiences. The world was introduced to a new form of entertainment, a digital escape that allowed us to venture into realms previously only accessible through our imaginations. The heroes and villains of these digital realms were brought to life through a unique art form that we now nostalgically refer to as pixel art. Pixel art, as the name suggests, is a form of digital art where images are created on the pixel level. The earliest video games were a canvas of black screens dotted with colorful squares. These squares, or pixels, were the building blocks of the virtual landscapes and characters that populated the games of this era. Despite their simplicity, these pixelated designs were a marvel of the time. They represented a new frontier in entertainment, blurring the lines between technology and art. Each pixel was carefully placed, with colors meticulously chosen, to create the illusion of complex shapes and forms. Games like Pong and Space Invaders were among the first to use this form of graphics. The visuals were basic, with players represented by simple geometric shapes, and yet they were able to capture the imagination of millions. These games, with their pixelated graphics, were the pioneers of the video game industry. However, the pixelated designs were not merely a product of artistic choice. They were a necessity, born out of the limitations of the hardware of the time. The early gaming consoles and computers simply did not have the processing power to render more complex visuals. But every limitation is an opportunity in disguise. The constraints of the hardware forced game designers to be creative with their use of pixels. They had to convey complex ideas and narratives with a limited palette of shapes and colors. This challenge laid the groundwork for the innovative game design techniques that would come later. So, as we delve deeper into the evolution of video game graphics, let's not forget these humble beginnings. The pixelated designs of the 1970s were the seeds from which the lush, photorealistic graphics of today have grown. Although the visuals were basic, they laid the foundation for what was to come. In the 1980s, video game graphics underwent significant advancements. This decade was a turning point in the gaming industry, marking a shift from the blocky, pixelated visuals of the past. The catalyst for this change? The introduction of more powerful gaming consoles and home computers. These new platforms offered improved processing power, allowing game designers to push the boundaries of what was possible in terms of graphics. With the enhanced capabilities of these new consoles, video game visuals were no longer confined to the realm of simple, two-dimensional designs. Instead, they began to feature more detailed visuals, vibrant colors, and even some early attempts at three-dimensional effects. The 1980s also saw the release of some of the most iconic games in history, games that are still cherished and played today. Among these were the likes of Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda. These titles didn't just offer engaging gameplay, they also boasted impressive graphics for their time, bringing worlds to life in a way that hadn't been seen before. Super Mario Bros., for example, surprised and delighted players with its colorful environments and detailed character designs. The game's graphics were a far cry from the simple monochrome visuals of earlier titles, and they added a whole new level of enjoyment to the gaming experience. Similarly, The Legend of Zelda dazzled players with its expansive and beautifully rendered game world. The game's detailed visuals and intricate designs helped to create a sense of adventure and exploration that was groundbreaking at the time. These games, and others like them, revolutionized the industry. They showcased the potential of improved graphics and set a new standard for what players could expect from their video games. Not only did they captivate players worldwide, but they also laid the groundwork for the further advancements in game design that we would see in the decades to follow. Games like Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda revolutionized the industry with their improved graphics, captivating players worldwide. They showed us that video games could be more than just simple entertainment. They could be works of art, full of beauty, creativity, and imagination. And this was only the beginning of the journey. The 1990s witnessed a seismic shift in video game graphics with the arrival of 3D rendering. This era marked a transformative period in gaming history, where the flat, two-dimensional worlds of yesteryears started to fade into obsolescence. They were replaced by dynamic, three-dimensional environments that added a whole new level of depth and immersion to the gaming experience. 3D rendering revolutionized the way we interact with video games. It allowed players to perceive depth and distance, which not only enhanced the visual experience, but also had a profound impact on gameplay mechanics. Now, players could explore virtual worlds from multiple angles, traverse complex terrains, and engage in more strategic combat. This was a far cry from the horizontal scrolling of the past. Among the pioneers of this 3D revolution were games like Doom and Quake. These titles took the gaming world by storm, showcasing what was possible with 3D rendering. Doom, with its labyrinthine corridors and monstrous foes, brought the world of first-person shooters into the third dimension, while Quake's real-time 3D rendering took the genre to new heights of realism. These games didn't just wow players with their immersive environments, they also set the standard for future generations of video games. Their success sent a clear message to the industry. 3D was the future of gaming, but it wasn't just about the visuals. The advent of 3D graphics also altered the narrative potential of video games. With more realistic graphics, developers could create more believable worlds and characters, leading to more compelling and emotionally engaging stories. The impact of 3D rendering on the gaming industry cannot be overstated. It was a game changer, literally and figuratively, paving the way for many of the immersive, visually stunning games we enjoy today. Titles such as Doom and Quake wowed players with their immersive environments and realistic visuals. They were more than just games. They were windows into other worlds, made possible by the power of 3D graphics. And they were just the beginning of what was to come in the evolution of video game graphics. As we entered the new millennium, high-definition HD graphics became the buzzword in the gaming industry. With the turn of the century came a revolution in the gaming world. The advent of HD graphics marked a significant turning point in the evolution of video game visuals. This was a time when the gaming community was introduced to a whole new level of detail and clarity. The visuals were no longer just about rendering the game's environment, they were about bringing it to life. The characters weren't just figures on a screen, they were beings with distinct features and expressions. The landscapes weren't just backdrops, they were immersive worlds waiting to be explored. And who were the catalysts behind this revolution? None other than the giants of the gaming industry, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. These consoles redefined the gaming experience with their ability to support HD graphics. They presented gamers with a new visual language that was sharper, more detailed, and more vibrant. The images were clearer and more defined. The textures were more intricate, adding a depth to the visuals that was previously unseen. The colors were more vibrant, making the gaming world more enticing and immersive. The introduction of HD graphics was like putting on a pair of glasses for the first time. The world of gaming was seen in a new light, a light that was brighter, clearer, and more detailed. But it wasn't just about the visuals. The impact of HD graphics extended beyond the screen. It changed the way games were developed. It pushed game designers to pay more attention to detail, to think beyond the pixel, to create worlds that were not just visually stunning, but also rich in detail and experience. It also changed the way games were played. With HD graphics, players were no longer just observers. They were participants in a world that was as close to reality as it could get. They could see the sweat on a character's brow, the rust on a weapon, the individual leaves on a tree. It was a level of detail that drew players in, making the gaming experience more engaging and immersive. Consoles like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 brought forth a new era of gaming visuals, delivering sharper images, more detailed textures, and vibrant colors that amazed players. In recent years, video game graphics have reached new heights with the advent of photorealism. This leap forward in visual representation has been made possible by the integration of cutting-edge technologies into game development. One such technology is ray tracing, a rendering technique that simulates the way light interacts with objects in a virtual environment. By accurately modeling the reflection, refraction, and scattering of light, ray tracing delivers unprecedented levels of realism, making in-game lighting and shadows more lifelike than ever before. In addition to ray tracing, photogrammetry has also played a pivotal role in achieving photorealistic graphics. It involves capturing high-resolution photographs of real-world objects or environments, and then converting them into 3D models. This technique has been instrumental in bringing intricate details to life, right down to the texture of a character's clothing or the moss on an ancient stone wall. These advancements have not just enhanced the visual appeal of games, but have also transformed the gaming experience. The immersion and sense of presence that photorealistic graphics provide make the game world feel more tangible and believable. Now let's talk about some of the games that have pushed the boundaries of realism. The Last of Us Part 2, for instance, is a sterling example of photorealism in video games. The game's post-apocalyptic world is rendered in meticulous detail, with stunningly lifelike characters and environments that leave players in awe. Another game that has taken realism to new heights is Red Dead Redemption 2. From its sprawling open world filled with diverse ecosystems to the realistically modeled characters and animals, the game is a testament to the power of photorealistic graphics. In essence, games like The Last of Us Part 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 showcase the immense potential of photorealistic graphics. They stand as a testament to how far we've come from the days of pixelated graphics, and they hint at an exciting future where the line between the virtual and the real continues to blur. As technology continues to evolve, so too will video game graphics. From the humble pixelated beginnings to today's mind-blowing photorealism, we've traveled an extraordinary path. The evolution of video game visuals is a testament to human creativity and our relentless pursuit of technological advancements. This journey is far from over. So, remember to hit that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. Don't forget to join us next time. Thank you for joining us on this epic journey.